Alright, in the first tutorial we went over how to get rid of this fence in the picture down here, and if you already know how to do that, cool. If not, I'll put a link in the description to the first part and you can watch that and see how to do it. It's pretty simple once you know how to do it. So we'll move on, and basically what I'm going to show you how to do from here is add stuff and change the sky a little bit and add some other things, and we'll basically get it looking like this. So the first thing we'll start off with is the balloons. And what I did is I went and found a pair of hot air balloons. You can use one or two or however many you want. We're going to select the whole thing, copy it, and paste it onto our other image. And first thing you want to do is get rid of the background and the trees that are in it. And we're going to use the magic wand tool. And one thing you'll notice is parts of the balloon are kind of the same or close to the same color as the sky. So one thing you want to be weary about is it's selecting that, because you don't want to erase any of that. So I'm going to keep it continuous and have a pretty low tolerance, and that will make it so we're not deleting parts of the balloon that we don't want it to delete. And then I'm just going to go in with the eraser tool and erase whatever it missed. Make sure your opacity's up. And I'm not going to get crazy going into the details of erasing. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of how to do this kind of stuff. If you want it to be like a perfect picture, you're going to definitely want to get up close like this and get all the sky out of there, just like that. The more you get out, the more realistic it's going to look. Unless it's sitting over the same color sky, and then you don't really have to worry about it as much. But if it's sitting over the grass like it is now, you'll notice it, which is not good. I said I wasn't going to get crazy into the detail, and here I am doing it. Anyways, let's move on from there. Obviously, we're going to want to resize this, so you're going to go to Image, Adjustments. Never mind. You're going to go to Edit, Free Transform. And I'm going to have them about right there, so keep them about that size. That looks good. And then I think the sky looks kind of good as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and add in some more clouds, like with a little overlay of other clouds, just to add some more over here. It's not a big deal. You don't really have to do it, but why not? Might as well show you guys some different techniques. And we're going to put this layer under the balloons because the clouds need to be behind the balloons. And we want to free transform it so it's more in proportion with the actual sky that's already there. Let's try it right there and see what it looks like. Put it on overlay and leave it about right there. Next thing you want to do is come in with a soft eraser tool, move the hardness down, and erase the part of the cloud image that is now over top of the mountains. As you can see, some of it's kind of sitting over the tree branches right here, but it's not really too noticeable, so I'm not even going to worry about that. Now, as it sits right now, I think the balloons themselves look pretty realistic for the most part. One thing I'm gonna do to try to blend them in a little bit more is burn where the shadow falls a little. And this is the burn tool over here, and dodge tool, which brightens, creates highlights. I'm going to use that over here a little bit since the sky is pretty bright. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is let's add a little vignette layer over the top. Basically, I'm going to use this circle select tool, start up at the edge, drag it while holding the mouse, and then I'm going to go to select, modify feather, keep it at about 150 pixels, and then inverse the selection. And then we're going to drop black in that with the paint bucket. And basically what the feathering did is it made it so it's a gradual gradient. And if you didn't do that, it would just be straight. It'd have a very sharp black line, and we don't really want that for a vignette. And I'm going to make it kind of subtle too. I don't want it to be too intense. I'm just trying to bring a little bit of focus into the balloons in the center of the picture. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I want to add something down here, another point of interest. And one thing that I thought would be good is flowers. So I'm going to take this image, copy it, and paste it over. And since I'm thinking it will be good coming down like this, we're going to flip the image. Image adjustment, I keep doing that. Edit, transform, flip horizontally. And then we're going to move it down to the corner. And then I'm going to scale it down some. I don't want it to be so big. Let's move it to about right there. And then next, I'm going to come in and erase the parts I don't want. Now, how good the picture looks is going to depend on how meticulous you are in erasing things and stuff like that to make it look more realistic. And one thing you definitely want to think about when you're doing stuff like that is shadows and where the light's hitting in the original image. You can see right here there's shadows from the trees, and honestly that almost looks like a shadow from the balloon. Which it's not, because the balloon wasn't there before, but kind of looks like one. Now I think what I'm going to do to make that look a little bit more natural is use the clone stamp tool and clone some of these flowers over to the right of him. I'm going to make a new layer so it doesn't affect the original one. We're going to hold Alt. And then I'm going to erase some of the ones that didn't come out all the way. So right now it's not too bad. I mean, it doesn't look perfect by any means. And I'm going to merge these two layers together so I can change stuff on them at the same time. I think what I'm going to do is go to Image Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and maybe just make them so they're not quite as bright. And then we also need to bring this under the vignette layer so the vignette's sitting on top of it. Well, now it looks kind of dark. So I'm going to go back and change that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is add a light leak. And this will just kind of make it look kind of cool, add some visual interest. And then we're just going to fit it to the right size of the image. And I'm going to put this on as a screen and lower the opacity. And that's that. I'm not really a fan of the flowers this time around. I think they might have come out a little better the first time. And it really takes some playing around and, like I said, being meticulous and trying to make things look like they're natural. And that's it.